Hello everyone, welcome back to yet another round of Ultimate League Season 22 as we find ourselves standing here in Munich for the end of the first half of this current season. So looking at today's track, it is a track that comes from the game Motorsports Manager, and it is a track that was raced also in Ultimate League back in Season 9, but it was on a different version though, which was made by Vlad0204. Today it is the version that was made by Kuziman, also the person who just recently left the server to go to the army in Norway. But as you can see, it is a track that has a lot of 90-degree turns, and so we can definitely expect to see some crashes. And yeah, this is definitely a very different track compared to the one that was raced in Season 9. There's a lot of the turns here are a lot more difficult to make, and so yeah, there's a lot of places where you can only have one single line, and you're probably going to see a lot of single file racing. But there are some drivers who seem to be very concerned about racing incidents, so I think that's something that they're going to have to worry about, which is avoiding crashing pretty much, which can absolutely change the result of their races quite a lot here today. And yeah, not really surprised. I mean, there are a few big straights followed in by tight turns or turns where you can only fit one single car, and so yeah, I'm pretty sure that's going to have a huge effect. And also that section that you see on the right of the map, there has also been reported to be very tricky. At least that's what the driver's been saying. It's a very difficult part there, so I'm pretty sure you will see some drivers messing up and maybe screw someone else without having any intent of doing so. But yeah, either way, in terms of strategy, today should definitely be a four-stopper. But yeah, it seems like a bit. You might see drivers applying some strategies where they can use all three tire compounds here today, which I think is going to be very interesting. But either way, there's no rain expected for today, so that means that the drivers will have to use two different tire compounds. So yeah, without any further ado, let's then get ourselves into the qualifying session. Alright, so here we go then, the beginning of qualifying. As you can see already from your bottom right, you have these standings, and yeah, we got Felix now leading by 20 points against Ozzy, and yeah, as he finally managed to win a race in the previous round. And yeah, I'm not totally sure, but I think Felix may have been the first driver to lead the championship after 3 rounds without any single race win. But I'm not completely sure about that, but either way, he won the race, now leads by 20 points, and now we see this sort of close battle for second place with Menbergoat and F1 Fan FT just trailing there behind, and then one time managed to now extend that gap in the championship once again, as they were a little bit under threat before the previous round, but now they managed to finally gain a lot more points, and yeah, they just continue to dominate. But today there's no Figo though, so maybe, who knows, things could change in the constructors once again. As we see then, what's not changing, it's Flix right now on provisional pole here with Ozzy now in second place. They did cross on it in third, so actually a very useful emergency reserve for now, for one time here. So yeah, interesting here. We got this sort of battle between one time and SCP. As yeah, Jarifu, his season has been a little bit with some has had some ups and downs. It started that well, he had to retire, then he had a bad result, then he won the race, and then the previous race was kinda mid, I guess. But as we see then here, I think nothing really changed in the top 4, at least positions wise. Well, but maybe now it's changing, because we see Yoa on provisional pole now with a lap of 37.12, and I think he's right at the back. I'm pretty sure, I think I saw him, yeah, but now he made a mistake, so I think that's it for the South African here. So let's see if someone else can beat his lap. We see Johnny looking really strong there, but I think he made a mistake. He might be out. We got now Flix and maybe Ozzy looking to improve here, or maybe Flix can try and beat Yoa. Can he do it? And no! It is Yoa then starting on pole position for the second time this season. And yeah, interesting stuff we got now. I think Yuri's finishing, or maybe Yoa actually was the one who was the last on track, but either way it is then Yoa starting on pole position with Flix starting alongside. Then you got Ozzy followed by Kirstenet, and then you got Johnny Foot, Party there on round number 3. Then we see Blank starting just ahead of the LSA drivers, with the F1 Fan actually being tied with the Indian driver. Then you got Lucia there in P9 followed by Kado who then closes the top 10. Then we see a little bit further behind, we got Albono and Bituco, followed in by Juruni and Lexus. Then we got Majundar, they filling in for Mayhem Racing, as we then have Banner, with Ricky Boys replacing Jake Pratt today with Juris running up the grid. And yeah, a little fun fact about this track is that this was the place where Juris got his best ever result of P5 back in Season 9, but yeah, today's going to be starting from last place, so let's see if you can actually beat that today. It's probably going to be a little bit difficult, but either way, he's not really all that far from the other drivers here. But yeah, anyways, let's then get ourselves into the race here today, 39 laps around the circuit of Munich. Right, so here we go then. Joa will be leading us away on that 3-car auto car. And let's see now, the lights are now starting to appear. And the lights are off then, as we see Flisk with a bit of a stall there. What happened to him? He's just running into this grid right now. He's down in P9. As we see now, Joa leading the way from Ozzy. And then you got here Johnny Fu there in third place. As we got then Corvid now trying to go down the outside of the SCP there. Then you got Kirstenet and Blank there, right towards the front. As yeah, we got Manbarigot actually missing, so the SGP is going to be very reliant on him to score the big points here today. But as we see then, we got Joa now leading the way. Ozzy's the only one following him at the moment. As you see, Corvid, of course, once again, he might actually be on slipstream. It's just that once again, with that big ping, he might have to give a lot of distance in our screen. But as you see now, Flix, he was already up to P5, but he made a mistake there. Now he has his teammate for this race up the inside, but he already pushed him there into the grass, I think, as we got now him battling with Blank and F1 fan there, but now he gets a little bit of push from Flix. And then we see also Kado and Albono starting to appear here in the top 10, with Dulce right behind. And you got Manjundar not really doing all that badly there, hurting P12, but at the front it is now Joa leading the way, so this might be an amazing opportunity for them to actually win this race. But let's not obviously count Flix off, because we already know what he can do. We've seen him in Sigolzari, where things didn't started all that well after a bad qualifying and a bad race start, but then he managed to just recover and gain on the others, and in the end he had the chance to win the race, but things didn't quite went his way on that final straight there. But this on the results screen, because he did actually cross the line first, but as we see now, there's a huge train behind him, starting with him. Then we got Blank, then of course on that there, and he ends pretty much with Kado and Bituco, who's just outside, I think, of that slipstream train. But as we see, we got Albono and Suduce going side by side there. Then you see now Kirstenet trying to get past Blank to be now Flick's shield. Then we see Blank up the inside there, but Kirstenet now is gonna have the inside now. Ooh, as you can see, oh my god, now Flicks goes off the track there. And then you see Kirstenet just having another crash there with F1 fan. But now we got Ozzy just trying to take the lead of the race, and he managed to do it. So Ozzy leads the way. I think you all may have done a mistake, I feel like. Because yeah, now Ozzy, he was side by side on our screen, which means he was not side by side on Yoa's screen. So yeah, pretty sure Yoa simply made a mistake there. As we see now Corvid getting himself up to second place. And yeah, we got what seems to be a very good race for SCP right now, with first and P4 right now, and they could even have a double podium. But yeah, now where is Flix? He's down in P12. Look at that, it's been a very stressful race, and it's going to be one of those where he's going to be testing himself to see what can he do to climb back up again, because there is sometimes it's races like this that make a champion. As we see him now up the inside of Manjundar, and he gets himself back then into P12, as he has Pituco right ahead of him. Then it's Kado now. I think they're just piling up a little bit there. And yet, this is what we were talking about, the chaotic nature of this track. As we see right here, we got, oh my god, Pituco left inside there, but now Flix now gets himself into the top 10. And now he's going to be chasing down the Bulgarian driver here, Suzuki, in P9. He's one of the two drivers of the mediums, and the other one is actually his teammate, F1 fan. So this does seem to be a team planned strategy. And I'm not surprised that we see a lot of drivers on the soft tire. I think they definitely not want to get themselves into crashes or have other people trying to pass them on a track like this. So it's better to be safe and start on the faster tire, then go for the hards or mediums on the other stinks. But as we see, actually the driver seems to be beating for the soft tire still, so maybe the soft is the way to go. But yeah, now it is Carvey leading the way this race with Ozzy there in second place. You know, now we got Blank in third. He's still yet to take his first podium in Ultimate League. But yeah, he does have a personal best of P5, which he managed to do in the previous season. And yeah, now we see then Carvey and Ozzy beating the CEO and now staying out with the drivers who have the medium, so the LSA drivers basically. And as we see, yeah, not even Flick's gonna try anything different. He's just going with the other drivers here. But yeah, it seems like these soft tires can last up into 7 laps, and I think Yo is just extending this quite a lot here. And now we see Ozzy charging his way into the inside of Carvey, as we see now Carvey just fighting back here. But I think it's Ozzy just battling the ghost car of Carvey. I don't think Carvey is really in the battle on his screen, but now he goes off the track there. As you can see, I think he's just letting Ozzy pass on his screen. And now it is then the Polish driver leading the race once again. This is one of the brand new race winners from this season. And now Yoa then pits. And I think he's going to be undercutted by a few drivers then. And he goes down to P8. And if not wrong, I think Yoa might be one of the drivers with the worst plus minus in these standings, because yeah, he's been doing really well in qualifying, but then in the race he just doesn't seem to be able to hold on to those higher positions. But we've actually seen him being very close to the podium a few times, and yeah, he's been chasing it pretty much. He wants to really step on that podium. Doesn't matter if it's the lowest step or the highest step. I think he will be very happy regardless. But as we see then here, Johnny Fu right now in P7, he has the hard tire, so yeah, as you can see, Yoa wants to switch up with him. But yeah, things are starting to slow down here. But now we got this 4-way battle. But with Tuko, with Shiruni now, tried to maybe go up the inside. We got Manchodar just giving some space to Bana. But as we see now, they're all piled up here. And this could get very dangerous now into the next few turns here. As we see now, Shiruni goes up the inside here. Bana ends up on the grass. And yeah, Pituko just cannot really get away there, though. And as we see, this battle seems to continue though. As we see, oh my god, he's going 3 wide. Bana gets a little bit into the grass. Now he has his teammate right behind him. So now it's almost becoming a 5-way battle, but yeah, Lexus just lost that system again. Ooh, Bana looking a little bit twitchy there. Now we see Manjundar just up the inside. Ooh, but Bana now makes a mistake on his own. Probably some distraction there, I feel like. But then Alexis once again, a lot of mistakes. Maybe that could be his issue. Maybe that could explain what he's missing when it comes to the pace. But yeah, we see Ozzy still leading the way. Carvey on that safe stream right now. I think, yeah, he's just... Once again, it's the huge ping that makes it seem like he's just giving a lot of distance. But now we see then Flix battling Albano, who does not put up a fight here. So he's up into P7, and slowly but sure he is recovering. And he's still in this fight for the win, I would say. But let's see what can he do, as yeah, things were actually very close in the previous race. Like the top 6 or top 5, they were not really separated by a lot of seconds. But yeah, we see Krosenet doing an amazing job here in 3rd place as an ER driver. And yeah, he was an SGP reserve driver in the previous season. But now he decided he wanted to just be an ER and show up whenever he's really needed, or whenever he's available to show up as well. And as you can see, he came in very well prepared, because yeah, now he's running third. We see Blank also doing pretty well in this race with Yo, and then Johnny Fu now in P6, so still a good race for SCP, that's for sure. They're definitely gaining time, gaining points on one time. And now we see Flix now already on the tail of Yoa. Can he get a move on the South African or not? As we see him, he goes up the inside now. He took that space as Yoa made a mistake and just left the door wide open. Now we see the LSA charge here with Albano as well, all getting past him. So he goes down into P10, so a single mistake cost him 4 positions pretty much here. And yeah, then we see now Flix already up to P5. Now he has Blanks on his sides here. As we see Blank going defensive. Now Flix should have the inside on the next turns. Can he do it? And yes, he can! Through goes then Flix into P4. We got Johnny Fu up to inside. Is he gonna try and slow him down or not? I don't think so. He's not going for those team tactics here. Ooh, but now he needs to be careful because of Plank there. But now Flix goes into the pits. Plank has a bit of a messy pit entry there. But yeah, we see the 1 times double stacking here. And they both going to the softs again. Now we see Blank on the hards. And you see here Ricky Boy, Kado, and I think Urist, yes. So Urist also pitting here. But yeah, so it is Suduce then leading this race temporarily. As yeah, the top runners or the front runners have already pitted, but now we see, ooh, this is a very challenging moment right now, and this could be really great for Ozzy. As we see him now on the net lead, and Cardi just losing time. And there he goes. A lot of obstacles here, and yeah, Yoa definitely not happy because he's already getting passed by some drivers who have already pitted for the 2nd time. And so things are not really looking great for him. I think he might be very frustrated once we come into the interviews. But it is still Suduce then leading the way. Then you got here Ozzy F1 Fan. Then you got Carvid, Yoa, Krustanet, Flix, and Bituko right now. So yeah, Bituko really aims some really useful slipstream right now. It is Flix on fresh soft tires that he has right now, and will it be a much faster tow right now, as you can see him now in P9, just trying to extend those mediums as much as he can. And then we see here the SGP is now really close to each other. It seems like Blank has fallen off a little bit here, with Albono now ahead of him. Currently in the top 10. And yeah, then we see here Krustanet with Yoa still yet to beat, and this could really cost the Spaniard quite a lot. And we see also Carvid right behind his Crit on the hard tire, so this is interesting. Will they be able to cooperate or not? Is he gonna let Krustanet pass him? That is the main question. In the meantime, we see Johnny Fu on the hard tires, looking to save a pit stop, I'd say. With now Ozzy, oh, he goes off the track. I think F1 Fan does not want to pass him though. He knows that he's on a different race compared to the Polish driver. As we see now, Flix gets past Yoa, who just insists on staying out on those mediums, and I think that is really just shooting himself on the foot pretty much right now. But yeah, this and Johnny Fu still leading the way. Now we got Ozzy charging up the inside. As we see, these two drivers still with the Charge GT tribute names, which I think is pretty cool, not gonna lie. But now it is a 1-2 for SCP then. You got F1 Fan now in 3rd, followed by Krustanet, then it's Carvid and Flix. So yeah, now Flix might have a bit of a challenge here from Carvid, who might not really just let him pass that easily. As we already know, it's just harder to expect that from him because of the higher ping here. But as you see, yeah, Carvid just maintains the side, but now this is a mistake that Flix needs to take advantage of. And can he do it or not? Yes, he can, I think. Unless he makes a mistake, but no, he uses that red part pretty well, but still going side by side with the Australian. But now he's gonna get that Krustanet tow, and I think, yeah, Krustanet is gonna let him pass. So here we go then, we've got the race in our hands. We see Ozzy leading the way with Johnny Fu now in 2nd place. And the thing here that I'm finding very interesting is that Johnny Fu might be on a banger of a strategy. He's currently in 2nd place. He's gonna have to pit, I think, on this lap precisely. But we also have Krustanet and Flix, so not that far away from pitting as well. Because they have from really that soft tires. We've seen that this tire seems to last like 7 laps, so they might be pitting on the very next lap here. And yeah, the thing now that Johnny Fu still seems to have Ozzy's slipstream, which is very useful. And yeah, so look at this, look at the SCPs. Just looking amazing right now. So this seems to be a base battle between One Time and SCP. And as we see now, yeah, Flix just losing Krustanet there, because he made a mistake. And again, it's just going off the track. But yeah, I think we might see the SCPs now double stacking. But yeah, once again, now 21 laps, that is the 7 times 3. Now there he goes, Ozzy once again going for the soft tires. So he should go until lap 28, I would guess. So that's gonna be then 11 laps to go until the end, which I feel like he's gonna take the hards. Because he has to take a different tire compound, we cannot forget about that. In the meantime, seems like Johnny Fu just losing his teammate. And I think that could really ruin things a little bit for him. As in the meantime, it does seem like Crossnet is pitted, but he has a lot of traffic, so really probably bad timing to pit. And yeah, we see his teammate. He has actually opted to stay out, maybe because of this, as he now goes in back into the soft tires. And let's see where he comes out. It's gonna be very close to his teammate though. But yeah, Crossnet though, maybe a little bit smart to take the mediums now. Let's see if he can actually keep his teammate slipstream. But he's gonna have some obstacles here. We see blank on the hard tires, which are very old tires there. Is he gonna fight or not? We see now Yoa also on the softs here. Just, yeah, now having to let Crossnet pass, but now it might be a little bit too late now, as we see Crossnet already losing Flick's slipstream. In the meantime, we see also the LSAs now both ahead of Flicks. And I think right now they should have the same amount of pit stops to go to the end of this race, but yeah, just now they find themselves with worse tires. And so yeah, things looking very interesting. So yeah, Flicks definitely is gonna have to pass these drivers on track. As we see him now just trying to catch the Bulgarian. But yeah, let's say definitely looking great for third place in this Constructors Championship. Looking very strong today with P4 and P6. But yeah, I think soon it's gonna be P5 and P6, because now we see Flicks then going for a move on Suduce, who cannot really give him that much of a fight. And it's really useless, to be honest. It's really pointless when you have much older tires, when you could just slipstream Flicks here. And now they could have a chance of catching Johnny Fu, which would also be really great for them. But yeah, in the meantime, we still got Corvid here. Still yet to pit for the third time, as he now got caught up by Ozzy. And yeah, so I'm really loving these strategies that we're seeing right now. Some variety here. And this is what I feel like these drivers should be about. Seeing drivers trying completely different strategies and see which one actually works. And yes, I think so far we actually been seeing that. And yeah, sometimes it's very clear that some teams have something planned. Like the LSAs, for instance. They seem to be usually in sync. But yeah, we see now F1 Fenden just leading the way here in this little LSA train. Then you got Johnny Fu now having to slipstream Flicks. I'm very curious to see if Johnny Fu is gonna try and slow him down or not, or if he just wants to also take a good result for himself. Either option I'd say would make sense. As yeah, looks like Corvid now just losing Ozzy. But yeah, I think this is a good chance for Ozzy to win a second race here today. But obviously cannot speak too soon. We saw how Flicks has managed to catch him in the final stages of the race, and yeah, it was really just a lot faster than the Polish driver there in Zingolzari. So this is really just becoming a very similar race to Zingolzari, I would say. Like, there seems to be a lot of parallels here. But yeah, now, one thing that is also crucial right now is that Ozzy has older tires than Flicks. And now the gap is around 2 seconds, so yeah, there is... now things actually looking good for Flicks, but he definitely needs to get a move on and try to catch his main rival of this season. As we now see Ozzy then pitting again, and once again it was with 2000 lap 28, so with 11 laps to go, and there he goes then into the hard tires, and he's gonna take those tires until the end of this race. But now, for his despair, he actually ends up behind Crossnet. So let's see what will the Spaniard do here, as we see him now on very old tires. He's actually not gonna fight Ozzy, it seems. And he actually does want to extend those tires. And of course, he's an emergency reserve driver, so he probably doesn't really have any sort of teaming interest here today. And yeah, so we see then Ozzy now getting past Flicks, who now goes into the pits, and he goes for the hard tires as well, now with 10 laps to go. And I wonder if 10 laps is way too much. for those hard tires or not, or if 11 laps is too much. Maybe it's not really. If the softs last 7 laps, then I would guess that the mediums last 9 laps, and then the hards actually last 11 laps. So yeah, maybe 11 is not way too much. But yeah, let's see though. I think Carvin might be on a 12 lap stint here on the hards. He's definitely made his last pit stop already. So Flick's gonna have to pass him on track. So this is something that actually is good news for Aussie. Now we see Johnny Fu here. Look at him! Just pitting right ahead of Flicks. And he just completely shuts the door on him. And yes, so there you go. This is the final stint of the race. All of the drivers have made their final pit stops here. But as we see, oh, there's still some though. We got Blank and Yoa. Which means that they're gonna drop also Albono as well. Oh, maybe there's still a lot of drivers who have not made that final pit stops, so I guess I was wrong. But as you see now, I found Fan and Pit, so... But yeah, I was very, very wrong actually. As we see, yeah, Blank on the soft tires, probably gonna pit with 7 laps to go, which would be this lap. At the end of this lap is when he goes into the pits. And then as you see here, oh! What is going on with Krustanet? Yeah, this he probably pressed the shot button and just click whatever key he uses to drive, I would guess. So here we see him there now side by side with Blank. We got a little bit of lag, but I don't think that was really server lag. So no need to stop the race as we see now Blank diving into the pits. But in the meantime, we still got Johnny Fu versus Flakes here. Look at that battle now. Ooh, Johnny Fu ended up on the grass. And was that his own mistake or was that a Flakes push there? That's the main question. But as we see now, we got this battle for second place. We got Scarville now in P2 with Flakes standing third. Just trying to catch him. He has 1 lap fresher tires. No, actually 2 laps fresher tires. But yeah, Johnny Fu has even fresh tires and he has the mediums, so that's another crucial factor here, which could really help him get a podium here today. But yeah, as we see now, just 5 laps to go. Now actually 6 laps to go to the end of this race, so we still got plenty of racing until the end. But now we got here the Ricards versus Blank on the lower places in the top 10 as we see here. Now Blank up inside of Pituco. And yeah, Pituco is going to be struggling here. He has some really old hard tires. Blank is on fresh softs. And yeah, currently up to P8, so not a bad result from him, I would say. Considering that he's been out for a long time. But yeah, you see here also Grustonet currently there, but I think we got a massive battle for second. That wasn't for second place, so where was that? Oh, I think it was here. Machundar and Kado. Okay, there's still like 3 dots very close to each other on the minimap. But maybe we also got this battle for second place. Yeah, I think we also need to watch this one. As we also got here Krustanet and Suduce. But yeah, here I think we should see drivers actually battling each other. Because it is for the higher places here. And I think at this time maybe Aussie should have this one almost secured, I'd say. But that really depends on Carvey right now and Flicks, whether he can pass him or not. As we see now, ooh, Flicks ties up the inside. Can he take second place? Can he go the long way around here? As we see Carvey now right behind him. This could really be bad for the Latvian here as we see him now. And he gets tossed to the side by Carvey, so Carvey takes second once again. So amazing battling here. We got Flicks now with a little mistake. That's going to put him a little bit further behind the Australian, but he still has that slipstream though. But all of this battling just allowing Johnny Fu to still stay on this fight for third place. We also cannot really forget about F1 Fan as well. He might be on the frame very soon as we see now Flicks once again takes the inside. He goes into the racing line now already. Can Carvey find a way past? No, he makes a mistake. He ends up on the grass now. He still has that slipstream though on his screen, so let's see if Flicks definitely needs to watch out. If he makes a mistake, Carvey will be passing him on his screen. And if he's ahead, usually that can mean danger. But we will see then. So Carvid's still now in third place. We have just now 2 laps to go to the end. It is a 3.5 second gap to Ozzy, who leads the way and is on his way for the second race win here today. As we see now, could Flix be getting away from Carvid maybe? Or maybe not, as you see, Johnny Food trying to go up the inside there of Carvid. But he makes a mistake there. That could be his podium chances gone. In the meantime, he's going to be under pressure from F1 Fan, I feel like. This F1 Fan, he has the softs, but everyone is on very dead tires. And I think that could be why Corby might be struggling to keep up with Flix right now. But as we see now, we got the white flag here. Ozzy leads the way. Just 1 lap to go for the second race win here for the Polish driver. Can he do it or not? He just needs to bring it home. As this time around, he might be a lot more convincing win here today. Just flawless. Pretty much, he made the crucial overtakes when he needed to. He had an amazing strategy as well. And it was overall an amazing race here for this guy. As we see him now charge, Ozzy is going to be charging his way for a second race win as he wins the German Grand Prix here. And here we go then, Ozzy wins and gets first place, then with Flix second, and then it is Carvid third. As we see, oh my god, Johnny Fun F1 Fan there. And yeah, we got some very close finishes here. We got Blank there in P8. But yeah, soon we're going to be having a look into the results. But now I'm just going to be watching them finish the race. And yeah, interesting race that we got here. You see now Lexus, and it's the... Oh, then it's Mansundar here, P15. And it's Ricky Boy and Jurist. For some reason, they didn't even have the time to finish, but we did saw that it was clearly a 90-second countdown. But either way, looking then at the race results, we got then Ozzy with his second win of the season and his second win of his career. And you see Flix now in second place, but he gets the fastest lap, so it is only a 4 points lost to the Polish driver. Then we see then Carvid in third place, so another podium for him with F1 Fan in P4, followed by Shonifu. Like P5, then we got Kirsten had a nice ER performance here for one time in P6. Then we got Suduce in P7, followed by Black. Then we see it is Ricard Autos, Joa, who was filling in here for this team with Pituco then in P10. Then we see it is Albono then in P11, followed by Juruni. Then we got Cadel, followed by Lexus and Manjundar. Then we got both Lynx Racing drivers, Ricky Boy and Jurist. And then we got Banner, who DNF'd earlier in this race. So that pretty much covers it for the race results. So yeah, let's get ourselves into the race interviews. Alright, so starting then with Carvid, he finished third today, so an amazing race actually. You look very competitive throughout the whole race. So how do you feel?
Yeah, I was expecting the worst, given that started from 6th, and I wasn't expecting too much from today, but probably the best start of my career on that opening sector, and was able to convert that into a podium, which I'm happy about. I really thought I should have been closer to Ozzy, potentially fighting for the win at the end, but just a few incidents on the third stint when I was hoping to slipstream him on hards, ended up like I only had it slip for like half a lap because some of the back markers got involved and I lost it very, very quickly, and then I dealt with some of the squabbling from the one times. Actually, they were fighting quite hard between the two of them, and I was sort of caught in the mix of that. And then at the end, I lost the position to Flix about 3 laps to go, and I just had to hold position to hold on to the podium. But I did have a proper look into like trying to take the place back, and it just wasn't to be. That's all good. Good momentum into the next second half of the season. Yeah, it's just making me hungrier, honestly. Happy with that.
Alright, really nice to hear, and congrats for the podium today. As we didn't go, let me see here down the order. It's gonna be, I guess, Yoa. If he's here. Is he here? No. Yeah, he actually did look very frustrated as well. And yeah, that's the type of track that can produce a lot of frustration, but then I guess we go already down to P11 here with Albono. So yeah, how do you feel about today's race as you finish P11 today?
Um, I don't really know what to say. I don't really want to say names, but that, I'm so pissed off after that, man. Like that was the whole week. I've been fast in mocks. I've been in like the top three. Obviously, I wasn't expecting a podium, but I just like the whole race. It was like I would slip someone, I would end up with worse tires, I would get killed. Um, at one point, I was like, I would have been P8, but again, I don't want to call anyone out, but I got completely like sent into a wall, and the runoffs here are quite big, so that's a big shunt, but it is what it is. It's sort of just like what could have been, but yeah, congrats to Carvid on the podium as well. That's really cool, but yeah, I'm just pissed off. It could have been so much better, but yeah, it was always going to be a crazy race. Like people were, it's such a track that like even if you drive clean, you're still driving dirty in some aspect. But yeah, it just sucks.
Alright, then hopefully things can go better then on the second half of the season as we then gonna have, I guess to win, we're gonna have Urist here. So yeah, P17 today, 50 seconds behind the leader, so it was probably a very lonely race. So yeah, what do you think of this track and how was and do you felt like a huge difference compared to season 9 track where you got your actually best ever result in Ultimate League?
Yeah, it was actually it's a nice track. I feel like this version is actually better than the one we drove in season 9, especially that chicane at the top right. Um, it's a nice track. I feel like I'm still not quite used to the car and how it handles. I'm still not quite sure whether to excel brake or to lift. Uh, but yeah, I tried. There was at one point. I think it was Lexus and their teammate were battling with me and Ricky for the back the last positions. So that was kind of fun. There was kind of a battle going on there. Then at one point. I don't know. Our strategies diverged. I was on soft all by myself, and I did not have the pace. I did not have the consistency to just not make mistakes, um, and lost a bunch of time. Uh, so yeah, that was it. Not much to say, um, but it was fun.
Alright, and so really nice to hear, and yeah, that pretty much covers it. And for the interviews, and now we pretty much ended the first half of the season, which means that for the next weekend there's not going to be any races, and then in 2 weeks' time we're going to be returning then to round number 6 in Marina Bay. So third time in a row we're going to be racing on the Kuziman track, and yeah, so we'll see you there till the next time, and goodbye.